Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be painting this loose watercolour robin in my sketchbook. Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be painting a robin with watercolour. So I know I did a robin painting last winter, last December, but in my opinion you can never paint too many robins. So I've done a little sketch here and I have lightened it up just with a kneaded eraser. I'm just lightening up the sketch a little bit, and I was thinking of making the background like a light browny grey, although maybe not the grey part, because when I've painted robins before, all the birds I normally paint, I always go for a sap green and indigo background, because I was almost about to say that with those colours I can't fail. That is not true. I definitely can, but I think it's just their colours that I'm comfortable with and I know how to manipulate. And I don't think I've ever gone for just like a nice soft background. So we're going to try that and see how we do. Okay, so this poor paintbrush here. Look at this poor paintbrush. I used it for some Mod Podge a bit ago and the bristles were basically unmovable, but I have managed to make it work again, which makes me really happy, because for bigger paintings this is great for a big span of area. I'm trying to think out which brushes I might need. It's one of my favourite brushes. This one is also a favourite of mine, but this bit, whenever I paint with it, I can feel that this bit's loose, so I don't know how long until this part comes off. So I'm careful with it. I might need a smaller brush for the robin, or little details. Probably will need my green one. What else will I need? No, I think that's it. This to one side. So I've got two glasses of water, one for fresh water and one for cleaning off my brush. Ever since I found my second jar, because my first jar, that's my wash off water to wash off my brush, sorry, for dirty water basically, was originally my main glass, but it kind of got like, I don't know, kind of crusty and everything, so I changed to a new glass and I put the old one somewhere else and I couldn't find it for ages. So yeah. Right, let's go for a little bit of, oh no, I think I was using this colour for different paintings, so I might have to try and get the indigo off it. The indigo made it kind of dark. Hang on. Okay, so that's soft. I will use that because that'll be a light brown because of all the water. Maybe add a bit of light red to soften up the colour that I want, a bit more light red. So, do I have? That's my over Christmas, the berry painting I did a bit ago. I'm just going to use the back of it. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so we're probably going to use that. Maybe add a bit more pigment to it, just a little. You haven't been, oh, this entire time I've been mixing my colour and you haven't been able to see. Basically, it's a lot of water, burnt umber, quite a bit of burnt umber and a touch of light red to make this colour. And you can see it's really runny because it's got a lot of water in it, because I'm hoping to make it a nice soft brown, but I can add some if it's too diluted. So I'm going to use my big brush and I'm just going to wet the background. Try to avoid the robin itself. Best that I can. some of this colour. Let's see. Now, would it be better if I take this brush, a big one, but dry it off a little, and take some of this colour? Ironically, this background colour that I'm using right now is almost the colour of the robin's wings. Let's see if I can just get round the corners there. That's very light. I think I can afford to add definitely some more pigment to that. Although if I do the robin, I might be able to, if I can paint the robin while the background's still wet, I can get them to mix together and get a cool, well, hopefully get a cool effect. But obviously colours dry, watercolour dries darker when it's down, so this will be dry really light. Okay. Also, the way that I've drawn the beak on this robin, I can't help but unsee it, but is it my imagination or does it look like he's smiling? It looks like he's got a little smile. That's really cute. Okay, so now I need burnt umber. Oh, I might do it over here. Burnt umber, white red, burnt umber. What I might do is I might make this bit a bit more pigmented. A little bit of indigo, a tiny bit of indigo, because it's a browny grey. Browny grey, a bit more indigo. Van Dyke brown, indigo, and then mix them two together and add some more water. And let's see. This up a little bit more. Okay, that, I think the technique of letting the colours on the bird, the robin, pull up. Oh, it might still work. It wasn't. I don't think it was quite quite wet enough to do wet and wet. Let's see if I can. Because, like I said, I just wanted to do something a bit different. Because last year I did a red, green, and blue. Green and red grey, sorry, kind of background. So I just wanted to do something a little different. And if you're interested, you can go and watch that painting. Just a little bit of a sorry, I was concentrating there. A little bit of an advertisement. Go watch that video. One thing I keep doing for the last few painting videos is that when I've been sketching my birds, I have been doing them so large on the paper, because you notice it's not taped over because I couldn't be bothered. But I've been doing it, doing them so large that I keep cutting off their tail, and it's such a shame because robins have like this little cute like love heart. It's not a love heart, but it's kind of like that, and it's really sweet, but I've cut it off, so not literally, obviously. Right, so this part up here is cauliflowered, but it hasn't gone up the way I wanted it to, so I'm just going to, and hopefully with this little technique it might also come off, the robin might come off like a little bit fluffy, I'm hoping. Right, okay, so this part is kind of a creamy grey colour, but that depends what plumage the robin is in. So if I do that and it'll touch, it will mix, so let's go ahead and do that, because I'm going for a loose painting, which isn't a surprise. It's one of my favourite painting styles. So that's, ironically, that's the colour for the underbelly, the background. What's this? Oh, that should do. Maybe just add a bit more water to it. I'll just add a little bit of Gamboge hue just to the brown I've already got, just to try and make a bit of a creamy colour. Grab a bit of light red, and let's test that colour again. That's more on the right track. Let's use that. I'm going to get a bit of water. And this doesn't look too different. But there's a difference enough, so you can tell which part is the start of the wing. Let's see if I can just dry it off my brush a little, just to, that should do it. Now the only thing is I want to wet this little bit here, and I'm going to get the light red, just basically as it is, and we're going, oh no, we're not, that's not, let me grab some cadmium orange. Wasn't quite orange enough, and mix the cadmium orange hue into the light red, and now let's try it. I'm going to get it to touch that area because I want it to blend a bit. Now this is actually quite a light, not a bright orange as I thought it would be, which isn't a problem. It's just when I do it, I normally do a big bright red, but we're doing different things today, so it should be fun. It's fun having a little bit of a, wow. One mistake I have done is that because I've done that, I'm trying to remove some of this a little bit. So the thing I've done, normally there's just a little triangle here, feather wise, where the colours kind of start to go from the red crest to the underwing. So I've messed that up a little bit. You can actually kind of still see the sketch where I've drawn the triangle. when that bit is dried completely, I will pull this up again. I'll do a define where you can actually see where the robin's head is different from the background. It's kind of hard to see a little bit. Go back to my cadmium orange, a little bit of that red, cadmium orange. Try not to. Go around the eye. See if I can work on this a little bit. Try and define that bit again. That's looking a bit better. Ooh, a bit of orange. Right, so if I'm going to do this, I'm probably, it doesn't look too strange, going to have to touch some of the red on the bird if I want to do, see if I can get a fluffy, loose way for the background. Right. Get a bit more burnt umber, add to this light red, burnt umber, this colour, and see if I can. Just add a bit more definition to the wings. Yeah, so I'm going to have to wait for it to dry because as you can see, you can't quite see, and it kind of goes like that. So I'll have to pull it up again. I might use it to pull it down here actually. Pull it up. And then I'll leave it to dry because otherwise it's just going to keep it's going to keep doing that, so I can't define the shape until it's dry. Oh, table's creaking. Yeah, so I'm going to let that dry. So at the moment it looks rather strange. Ooh. Okay, so I've let it dry a little bit, and I don't know if you can see, but this bit looks kind of interesting. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but I think with some brown, some Van Dyke brown to get just a little bit darker, I can probably get the shape of my robin's head back. Okay, so trying to just try and kind of a bit more. Ooh, oh dear, a bit more round, a bit more rounded. Whoops. Okay. So I can, oh well. Okay. Right, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Making mistakes is what we're doing. Oh, okay. I just sort of dry that off. I can probably. Oh no. I'm doing it again. So we're going for yet another kind of, not on purpose this time. Oh dear. Right, so we've just got one really, really fluffy. That time was a mistake. That time was a... You know what? We're going to leave it with this style, you know? We're going to have a really fluffy, accidental... Whoops. Interesting. Going to... Now I can sort of see that triangle a bit more that I sketched now that it had dried. Just like that. Let's just go with it. It's just... Right. Bit of indigo, quite a lot of indigo, just for this little part under the tail, which maybe some loose faux feathers. Oh dear, oh this poor robin. I had such big, you know, pull this down, I had such, you know, big ideas for the painting when I did the sketch, and it's, oh dear. I think it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Stop. I think the problem is I am trying to make the loose fluffy thing work, and every time I add more fluffy it gets fluffier, and it's too fluffy. So you can't actually, bless it, you bless the poor robin, you can't see his poor undefined head. So when I had the snow part, and like the background branches, I won't lie, I'm interested to see how it turns out without a poor defined head. I want to kind of see how it works, how it right. This video has now turned into some sort of experiment. I didn't plan it that way, but here we are. If I don't pull this bit up, it's going to dry in a funny... Stop it. Oh, I've got to stop touching it. I don't think it's helping it. Interesting. Let me see if I can show you. Let me show you the... Where is it? Nope, that's not the page. Let me try and show you the robin without... If I turn the page too much, it will smudge it. Let me show you the other robin that I did. That would have been in November, I think. Like, I don't know, I don't know, I do kind of like the style, a less defined robin that we've got going on, so I'm going to leave it how it is. It's going to be interesting. Right, okay, so tree. So I'm going to get burnt umber, bit of Van Dyke brown, quite a bit of Van Dyke brown, just a touch of indigo. Going to. It's kind of reminding me, not the robin part, but it's kind of reminding me. The sketchbook is away, and the watercolour journal sketchbook is, I think, put away. Once I finish them, I kind of put them somewhere just to keep so they're safe. And it's kind of reminding me of a painting I did in there. It must have been about 3 years ago, and it's of a sparrow, and it kind of had this loose vibe that this has got, but it did have at the same time, that painting still also had a lot more defining details. So I'm getting between the feet as well. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit more of indigo to this. Just touch the bottom part to get a darker bottom of the tree. Right. So, and then what I did with that painting, I also lightly pulled this down too. It's just, at this point, let's just go for it. Let's well, it's too late now, I've done it, but let's just go and up. Funnily enough, I kind of like this. I don't know what it is about it. I mean, I don't know. I'm just liking how it looks. I kind of regret adding that though. This bit I've added too much. It's overworked, which is unfortunate. Right. Just going to do what I normally do. I just add some branches in the background. Now, my only problem is, because the rest of it's so loose and fluffy, I might pull them down a little bit too, otherwise it'll be a bit weird if they're just in a weird way. It kind of looks like it's raining. Right, I'm going to leave that to dry, and we'll see what I'm left with when it's dry. Okay, so I have added quite a bit of indigo to that brown because it is for the beak and the feet. I always get so nervous doing the beaks. Mentioned before, I'm not the steadiest when it comes to precision, intricate kind of parts. I have to really concentrate, and sometimes even then I can make mistakes when I do it. That's not too bad. That's gone okay. So one thing that gets me is that their feet, my legs can be very dark grey, but they also have little hints of like pink in them, or like a little pink, or like a little purple. I tend to just kind of do that and let the watercolour mix them together. Oops. And I've kind of messed them up a little bit. You can't see the way that I've done it. You can't see the claw bit wrapping around the tree, and that's what I mean. Like, I'm not steady handed to get those really tiny fine details, even with this brush. So this brush is, you know, you can see it's a detailed brush, but the way I hold it, I can't get the point, because for some reason I always want to hold it at an angle. If I hold it at an angle, it seems to make the brush obviously if I do it this way, it kind of makes it bigger, which is not what, you know, it's a detail brush, but this bit's do it by not being that neat. Whoops. Oh well, that's not too bad. I can cheat and do the loose thing and pull it down. Don't really know what to think of it. So it grew on me before, liking the loose feeling, but at the same time, it's, I don't know, it's also overworked, unfortunately. Oops, I managed to make that a bit orange. There we go. So I've just tried to define the head a little bit, because it was annoying me that it didn't have the brown part. It just looked like it was orange. So I've done that. Trying to not overwork it more than it already is, because this bit here, I've done it so dark. I think adding an even darker layer to get the smaller details of feathers will not be a good idea. I'm going to spread that out a little bit. There we go. Bit of a darker line. I don't know. It grew on me, and now I think it's not anymore. I don't know. Oh dear. This poor robin. The sketch was so promising, but I don't know. I still can't decide whether I would class it as a fail, you know, like a fail or not. Oops, no, that's not a rubbing. It's definitely, no matter which way I look at it, it's definitely overworked. But at the same time, it also might be because it might look a bit weird to me because it's a different colour palette to what I'm normally used to. I don't know. It's just, the eye looks huge. I know they have big eyes, but I think I've drawn that massive. Oof. Oh, no, maybe not. Oh, you see? That made it come together. Let's do a little tip on the beak. This is acrylic. I kind of regret that, can I? Oh, I can pull it out. Oh, fantastic. I'll just pull it off a little bit. Nice. You see, doing the eye, for some reason doing the eye pulled the whole look together. That looks nicer to me now. Okay, so ooh, I've got my ink that I'm going to do my snow with, because I normally, like I said, in a different colour scheme I would normally add loads of berries, but I just don't think that would go. So get my ink. Oh, get my poor pencil. Normally I have paper to cover this page, but because this is just my general drawing, it's my sketchbook, I don't really mind too much if it gets on the other page. Oh, I'm a little bit disappointed that this big splodge landed on the beak. I was really proud of I don't, oh, if I tap it, what will happen? I might leave it. It's just, I really like how I drawn the beak. The first time I was pretty confident in a beak that I'd drawn on a bird, and I managed to splatter huge bits of ink on it so you can't see the beak that I was proud of. It's kind of, it's typical, isn't it? It's always kind of like the same irony that I always worry about how I draw the beaks, and the one time I'm really proud of the way I've drawn it, I managed to cover it. Okay. Just some snow in the corner up here. Now, it's nice and loose, just add a bit of a brown splatter at the bottom, and a little bit at the top. There we go. That's just a little personal touch that I wanted to add. If you're following along, you don't have to do that. And I think with all the experimenting that went a little bit random and spontaneous, I think following along might have been quite difficult. I'm sorry about that. So I've left the eye to dry for a bit, so I'm going to add a highlight, because this sometimes, because obviously I'm adding white on black, it can be hard to get a really bright highlight. No, that's mine. Oh, okay, this is this one. Looking. That's there. There we go. I might just add a little bit of snow on these branches. Here as well. This one's a bit more smushed. Can't really see it anymore. And then let's try and avoid the splatters that I've done, but see if we can just add a little bit of snow onto the branch the robin is sitting on. Like that. And this pulp acrylic marker has been really well loved and used during some of the winter paintings that I've been doing. Put that away. So I think that is probably finished. I actually really like it. I actually really like how it turned out, to be honest. I think it's really sweet. It was quite a an experiment. I say an experiment. I like to do loose watercolour paintings, but that one was a bit more spontaneous, so I hadn't planned for it as such. I kind of just went with it, I guess. So yeah, so I'm now going to, obviously it's not fully dry, but I'm going to show you a little close-up of the robin. There we go. Oops. Oh, not in frame. There we go. Now it is. As I think it is. Okay, a bit more. Okay. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. Leave me a comment. I would love to know what you think about this painting. Do you like it? Yeah, really. Do you like it? do you like how it turned out, or is it too loose for you, or too overworked? I thought it was overworked halfway through the painting, but I actually really enjoy how it looks. So, oh, sorry, I did say I was finished, but sometimes I like to get a white pen and add white little branches. Not really visible, so never mind. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Bye.